Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the Oracle of the Light channel. Lovely to see you all today. My name is SP Psychic Medium. So, straight on to the topic of today. First of all readings are for entertainment purposes only, and I'm sure you'll understand if you watch this channel. So, that brings us on to today's topic, the No Kings non-violent protest. As I speak, there are thousands of No Kings non-violent protests going on. There's also some military parade for some person going on as well, but to be honest, quite frankly, I don't really care about that. There are thousands of No Kings protests going on today, and I've got an article here I'm going to post up a link to from The Guardian in the UK, and it says that at the same time that at the moment as we speak, there are tanks and soldiers parading through the streets of Washington for this other military parade. But of course, at the same time, there are No Kings protests going on around over 2,000 sites, which is come together with a coalition of more than 100 groups that have brought these protests together. And also they're committed to a principle of non-violence. But it seems that the Trump regime seems adamant on trying to make them sort of almost like make them bigger than, not bigger, but make them appear to be violent when they're simply not. And so he's deployed loads of troops out when there really isn't a need for any, because all of the people are doing is dancing and singing and stuff like that. They're non-violent, and there's people are just dancing together, and obviously they turn out in thousands and thousands, but there's no violence, and so people are just dancing in the streets and stuff. And so these troops are being deployed, and like, why on earth are people deploying us, Also as well, the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, who's a Republican, deployed his state National Guard to manage protests ahead of the No Kings, which of course is like a bit ridiculous, because really there's no need, because they're non-violent and there is no trouble being caused from what I can see. It's just quite remarkable how they're constantly trying to make on the news and everything what's going on. And I thought this is why I thought it would be really interesting to do a reading on the No Kings protests, non-violent protests. Believe it or not, one person as well, and I'm just trying to find the actual quote. Oh, that's right, Ron DeSantis. This is from the Guardian article. Said Ron DeSantis said that people could legally run over protesters with their cars if they were surrounded, and he said you don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have the right to defend yourself in Florida, which is just, it seems like they're trying to really stoke the fire almost to get something to happen, but it feels like to me as well that they're really trying to use a playbook here, that if they can do this, if they can deploy the troops now, are they going to deploy the troops in the future? And this to me is almost like a testing the waters for it. So it's also quite an important time. There's a lot of different things going on. If they can deploy the troops for this, then why can't they deploy them in the future for things? It's like, it sets a precedent we have to be very careful of, which is another reason why I wanted to do a reading, So I didn't want to focus on the military parade. I'm going to say I'm not interested in that. I wanted to focus on the No Kings movement, which is the movement of the people. This is a movement of the people that are potentially going to be losing their Medicare, that are going to be losing lots of their benefits and things like this. There's lots and lots of people that make up that movement, and it's the movement of the people, And so my first question I wanted to ask was, how is the No Kings movement going as a movement? And then the second question I wanted to ask was, what will the effects be from the No Kings non-violent protests? And obviously, I always say, let's see what the cards say at this moment, because we just see what the cards say at this very moment of the reading. Things can always change with the free will. And of course, we understand the reading is for entertainment purposes only too. So let's get going with this. I'm going to use the Cosmic Tarot cards. So the first question then, how is the No Kings movement going? Let's get some cards out, some tarot cards out to see how it is all going. Thank you for all your comments, by the way. I do appreciate you making comments on my videos. I do appreciate that. Thank you for your support, everyone, on the comments and things. And also thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate people that subscribe. Lots of our viewers aren't subscribed yet, so please do subscribe. I'm trying to make it to 500 subscribers. So every subscription, I do help it. Every comment and everything's always helpful. So thank you very much, everyone. Okay, so how is the No Kings movement going? I also read reverse cards, interestingly, too, and it can all help to tell us what's going on, you know. So let's see. I'm going to go to shuffle. Getting a shuffle on. Just really mixing them up. How is the No Kings movement going? I want to get 4 cards out. So we have the Queen of Cups, the Hermit upside down, the Queen of Swords, and the World. Wow, okay. So this is, how is the No Kings movement going? Well, first of all, we haven't got any kings in this reading, which is, there are kings, but we've got the Queen, interestingly. So first of all, we have the in fact, we have queens on the top of both of these, you know. 2 queens on the top there, interestingly, which is a really interesting thing there. So yeah, so how is the No Kings movement going? Well, first of all, I see this person as the cups represents love, and to me that also I feel that this fan has a map of the world on it too, and I feel that this is definitely a sense of like word is getting out, almost like when you fan yourself, you feel that air being blown, and that's like messages being carried on the wind around the world. People are really starting to latch on to what this No Kings movement, and it's starting to go around the world as well. I mean, obviously we're in the UK and it's getting around here, but it does feel like there's definitely going to be, the No Kings movement is going to be taking in more than simply just America here. There's going to be it's going to be part of a bigger thing here, I feel, with this too. Also, I do see a lot of movement with this card. I see those trees in the background, blowing in the background, you know, blowing back on the front. And to me, that's like movement. There's movement going on with this. There is real movement. And traction, it's gaining traction. Even more traction is what this is doing, okay? This card is all about gaining traction. And the second card out, the Hermit upside down. So the Hermit upside down, the Hermit normally is a card about retreating, going and retreating. But when it's upside down, it's about the opposite, getting out there and it's really getting the word out, shining your light out to those around you. So to me, this is definitely, these two definitely go well together. In terms of a movement, the movement is really getting out there now, really gaining traction, really gaining power, I feel, as well. Now, this is power, also the fact that it's a hermit. For a movement to really have power, it's not simply, the power hasn't got to be owned by the whole. It's got to almost be owned by the individuals and the whole, if you know what I mean. So people feel strong within that movement for a movement to be truly powerful. And this is the relation to the hermit. That's the relation to the hermit. So a very, very empowering movement for people that are involved, you know. A very real movement, though, too, because the swords do suggest hurt, and people are going to be hurt from the felons regime, but also I feel they know that the danger is very close. That's what the sword is there. Danger is very close. And what is danger? Danger is the regime, Trump's regime, really. That is the danger here. We've seen it already. ICE are coming around, pulling people off the streets without any case or anything, and just sending them away, and these people are going missing, and it's horrendous, you know. They're splitting up families. Apparently now they're even outside Disneyland. It's just getting really crazy. And this is the hurt. That's the sword. That's referenced about. They know that danger is close. Okay, but they're not on their own. They're not on their own at all, because the reason I say that is the World card. So the World card is very much about this movement is growing. This movement, the No Kings movement, is really growing. It's going to grow a lot beyond America now. It's going to be growing into a world movement of not putting up with these fascist agendas, you know, and not putting up with these discriminatory practices that are going on, this discrimination that's going on. It's just not acceptable, you know. In a civilized society, it's not acceptable. Everyone's rights are important, you know, men's, women's, transgender, gay, black, white, everyone's rights are important, you know. And everyone is important. That's the important thing. And the world encompasses that. Everyone is important in the world, okay? Even people that you don't agree with, but no one has a right to lock you up for that belief. No one has a right to imprison you for that belief. No one has a right to treat you like a second-class citizen because of that belief, you know. That's what that is, you know. So to summarize the first question then, so the Queen of Cups, there is a lot of love and there's a lot of traction and movement going on. There is a lot of traction and movement. Word is getting out there, but not just empowering the individuals, but also empowering as a movement, getting very, very strong now, you know. It's going to gain momentum from today even. And as I speak today, there are, as I say, thousands of protests going on, but it's going to gain even more traction, I feel, because they know how close to danger they are with this card. They know how close to danger that they are. But the world also knows too. And there is a bigger movement happening here too. I think we might even start to see protests, No Kings protests around the world, far greater from following today, even more. We might see them popping up all around the world, you know. Now, the Oracle of the Light card I want to get for this, I'm just going to get one card. How is the No Kings movement going? Let's get a card. Get that out of it. So how is the No Kings movement going? I'm just going to get... This is a deck of cards that me and Francesco designed, by the way. Available at Oracle of the Light. Okay, so how is the No Kings movement going? Okay, so Castle on the Rock upside down. So again, this is similar to the Hermit, this one really, because it's upside down. This is all about getting out there. Word is getting out. Where the word is out. This is what this card is about. And not unlike the Castle on the Rock is also about strength. So the word is out. People are coming together and they're going to be very strong together. The Castle on the Rock. The fact it's upside down means that it's all about, because this is an isolation card, a little bit like the Hermit when it's this way up. But when it's upside down, it's the opposite to isolation. So word is getting out big time. Also, the fact it's a castle means gaining a lot more strength, okay? The movement will gain a lot more strength from today. It's going to be even stronger, I feel. Again, always being non-violent, though, I feel there's a strong thread running through it, you know? So, yeah, I'm going to leave that question there. And now we're going to move on to another question. What will the effects be? Let me just put them halfway through that. What will the effects be from the No Kings non-violent protests? So what will the effects be from it all? Let's see. Just giving them a good shuffle. So interesting. We had two queens coming out at the top there. Amazing. Let's switch around as well. So don't forget, do subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers, so I really do appreciate it. So what will the effects be from the No Kings movement? Let's see what the cards say. We have the Empress, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Princess of Swords upside down. The Ace of Pentacles and the Wands upside down. Okay, so what will the effects be from the No Kings non-violent protest? So first of all, it feels like people will get a voice. People are going to get their voices heard almost. People are their voices are going to be heard more through these. And also people are going to be seen as individuals more, because I feel that it feels like people aren't being seen right now. It's almost like people are trying to ignore people that don't, if they don't toe the line and follow what the president believes in, then they almost like they don't see them. And it feels like this No Kings protests are going to almost like just not allow them to be seen. You know, they just can't get away from being seen almost, you know. The Ace of Wands, I feel this is very much about the fact it's upside down. Now, the Ace of Wands, I almost think this could represent Trump, being the ace. Look at me, the only one, but it's upside down, so it suggests that things are going downhill for Trump here. Things are going down, like this, spiraling downwards for Trump, you know. Also, the fact that we followed that by the Ace of Pentacles upside down. Now, the Ace of Pentacles often represent money, and again, spiraling downwards, it's upside down. Things are going down. You know, things are going to get rougher. You see the rocks here. Things are going to get rougher for Trump. Things are going to get darker for Trump, I feel, as well. Things are spiraling downwards, you know. Now, the Princess of Swords, what will the effects be from the No Kings non-violent protests? I feel that the Princess of Swords being upside down is representative. The swords represents hurt. And I feel this is to do with, it almost it feels like the fact that it's upside down suggests that almost like the regime is going to be crumbling, you know, the regime. I think this is a particular female in the felon's regime. And I think that this particular female is going to almost crumble under the weight of these protests. Like they're desperate to try and not let them not be seen. But I just sense this female, and I'm really drawn to blondish hair on this female. I don't know who this is, but I'm aware of blondish hair in a sense of this person's going to sort of crumble under the pressure of the ever so eloquent No Kings protest. Look how eloquent and respectful this card is, you know, and everything else is just going to go, you know, completely spiral down and crumble, you know. So I feel that this is going to be at the heart of the crumbling of that regime, I feel, in that sense, you know. And also in terms of an Oracle of the Light card, we have In My Thoughts. So what will the effects be from the No Kings protest? It will bring people's minds. It will bring people will be heard through these. People's voices will be heard. People will be thought about that are trying to be forgotten. It will keep people's minds. So I feel this is strongly the sense of like, it's going to raise the profile of the people that are trying to be ignored. This is at the heart of it. People's voice, they're trying to ignore the people. And it's through these No Kings protests, as that gains even more momentum, that they're simply not going to be able to ignore it. I think that's what this is, you know. So to summarize then, so the Empress, the effects are that people are going to become very eloquent. They're going to become energized. They're going to become confident in who they are and their right to their First Amendment right in speaking their views and everything like that, and speaking it against something. It's completely fine to have a different view. You shouldn't be locked up for it. And then the Ace of Wands, the effects from this No Kings is that the regime is going to spiral down to the ground. Everything's going to turn upside down and crumble. And as linked, particularly a female as well, that's going to be crumbling as well. I'm really drawn to blonde hair, so I don't know who this could be, but it's definitely aware of a blonde-haired female too. And of course, these No Kings protests are always going to get people. They're trying to ignore them, but these protests are going to make it so it's just impossible to ignore them. You know, I think this is going to become even more stronger, this movement, though. So it's worth remembering that too. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, everybody. A really interesting reading. And don't forget, if you did enjoy the reading and you do enjoy my channel, don't forget to subscribe now just below. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers. Or give us a thumbs up and do make a comment below too. See what you made of the reading. Listen, thank you so much, everyone. It's been lovely to see you all. I hope you enjoyed the reading. With lots of love and light from the Oracle of Light, I will see you all really soon. Take care, everyone.